Boy, you saw some hot discussion, and hopefully we're going to continue that today. And we had a great performer yesterday, Brian Copper, who's going to join us at the end of the program today, so you don't dare want to flip that dial. Before we do anything else today, though, we need to mention our sponsors, as the Exchange is brought to you by the Ohio Neck and Back Pain Relief Centers, Scott M. Gray, D.C., across from the Marion Center between TSC and Kroger. Call 740-386-6580. And Bucyrus Placemats. To put an ad in, call 419-562-8473. Located at 116 Wayne Avenue in Bucyrus, located on the net at bucyrusplacemats.com. Joined on the panel this week, Charlie Evers, Marianne Michaels, First Lady of Dance, Martha Dowse, and Kate Jacob. We're going to kick off the show, as we do each and every day, with Fascinating Facts with Charlie Evers. Charlie?
Yes, this one's really fascinating. If you were to ride out on Cardington Road, southeast of Marion, you would encounter something that would really perk your curiosity. Alongside the road, there on the Cardington Road, you'll find 4 or 5 cement or stone slabs. And if you look closely, you'll see it's a graveyard, or I mean one single grave. A man in 1822 was working along the road there, he lived around there, and a tree fell down, and he didn't get all the way fast enough, and wham, it got him. And so apparently whoever found him was lazy, because they dug a hole right there and buried him right along the edge of the road. So they have to be careful nowadays with the snow plows that they don't run into this man's grave from 1822.
He's got a snow plow, or a headstone.
No, it's a marker. Otherwise, there's just stone slabs and a metal marker here.
What's his name?
I was trying to think of that, and I knew, suddenly I forgot.
Is it on the marker?
Yes.
When the tree hit him, what year was that?
1822.
1822. Mm-hmm. When he didn't come home that night for supper, didn't his family say, hey, where is he? Maybe they didn't want to bury him there where the tree was.
Well, they thought maybe he was running around with somebody and,
left him.
Yeah.
I think you can't create a cemetery anywhere, can you?
Well, you can. You can actually bury someone in your backyard. I don't think there's a law against it.
Really?
So
just get a post hole digger and drop them out there.
The road was probably a little narrower than...
Are you sure about this?
Oh, yes.
No, I think you might be mistaken, Charlie.
I challenge anyone to get on their bicycles or in their car today and turn off the Whetstone River Road onto Cardington Road, cross the twin bridges, go a little farther east, and there it is. It will loom up to the right-hand side of your car.
Charlie, if this is true, if you can be buried wherever you die,
yes.
I think we should adopt that rule, that wherever you die, that's where you should be buried, because we're always worried about these cemetery things.
But what if you moved and left the person behind? And maybe you didn't tell the people that bought your property that there's one of your loved ones buried there.
No,
they found out.
Well, but you don't have to tell them.
Just like Arnold Schwarzenegger did with his wife.
That's what you can do.
Don't tell her.
Don't tell her anything. Don't say a word. Do you know if we buried people where they dropped dead,
yes.
how many tombstones there would be in McDonald's?
Oh, boy.
That you couldn't get to the straw aisle quick enough.
Or on any intersection in the Marion area.
That's exactly right.
I cannot believe we're talking about burying someone anywhere they die.
No, Marianne, do you?
I think Charlie should do some research, because I would think that you could only be buried in a cemetery. I mean, I can't imagine just burying people anywhere. Maybe in the Old West they did that. I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me.
I think it'd be nice to bury somebody in the backyard because you wouldn't have to travel $4 a gallon to visit the thing.
Isn't that where we bury our dogs when they die?
Well, that's true. And the cats.
That's true.
But what about a human being?
I don't think
Hey,
so.
I've got 2 donkeys buried in my backyard.
I don't believe
no.
that. Do you?
I don't believe that, Charlie Evers.
You have
Yes.
donkeys?
Someone said, what happened to your donkeys? I said, I lost my donkey.
Who dug the hole to bury the... How'd you get the donkey from where they died to the hole?
You know what a backhoe is?
You picked up that donkey
Yeah.
with a backhoe?
Yes, that's right.
How long did it take?
not very long with a backhoe,
No, I'm saying how many days from when it died till you buried it?
about 1 day.
So for one day, you had a dead donkey laying in your yard. People were just driving by.
Well, they never saw it. But the thing is, my first donkey that I had, it was dying slowly, and a kid from Harding High School called me up and said, Evers, when your donkey dies, can I have him? I said, why would you want my dead donkey? He said, I want to stuff him.
Oh!
And you know, when he died, I said, you can have him. And that donkey was stuffed and stood, now here's a mystery. He stood in a yard stuffed on Fairground Street and disappeared after about a day. No one to this day has ever found what happened to Homestead Clyde, that was his name.
Wait a second. You have 2 donkeys currently buried in your yard. One of your
I have
donkeys was...
3.
3 donkeys?
Yeah.
You had a donkey stuffed and put on the side of the
Plus
street.
2 goats,
2 goats,
a sheep,
a sheep.
and numerous chickens.
Oh, my goodness.
How many acres do you have?
I don't have enough.
My goodness.
It's getting crowded.
How many donkeys have you had in your life?
4.
4 donkeys?
Yes.
1 is stuffed, 2 are buried in the yard. Where's the 4th one?
I lost my,
You didn't pay the bill, it got repoed.
they're all over the place.
One more question. How did they pick up the dead donkey at your house? What did they transport it in?
Now this is good.
Yeah.
A small car, they raised the trunk lid, put Clyde in there with his feet straight in the air, and I said, oh no. They did this about the time my wife was coming home from work. I said, if my wife sees our precious donkey with his feet up in the air riding in this car, she's gonna croak.
So they showed up with a Toyota and a hatchback and threw the donkey in and took off.
Yep.
I don't know why they took it to stuff it, but that's, now that is fascinating. I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
Yes, it is.
Jim Bradshaw was his name, and he was just a beginner in that field, and you could tell that his legs had iron posts. His ears were sewed on, and
Boy,
it
that's,
didn't look good in the yard at all.
somebody wanted that donkey,
Yeah, and he's around somewhere today. I'd love to know where.
but not the donkey.
No, yeah, I want to find out where Clyde is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
something
I'd like to-
fascinating.
I'd like to rebury him in a backyard.
Got room?
Oh, yes, I can make room.
There you go.
There's his innards,
He would be
incidentally.
all in bones, Charlie.
Yeah. His innards are still buried on Fairground Street, though. When he was, processed in stuffing, they took his innards out and buried him with a tombstone.
Well, now we're talking about donkey innards. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if people haven't left us now, they're not leaving. Donkey
And it's a
innards.
true story, that's it.
I would throw that stuff away. I don't know.
A lot
I
of
don't think
things
I'd
in my
bury it.
life are unbelievable.
That is unbelievable, I have to say. I do want to let people who are left out there know that we're going to start a little talent competition here on The Exchange. Ohio Entertains, and if you want to be in this, anything you can do, magic, sing, dance, talk well, throw a baton, anything of that nature, go to our Facebook page, The Exchange Marion, on Facebook, like us, tell us your name, your age, what your talent is, 16 years and above, and you could be on this program performing, and the panel up here will judge, and we will pick the first ever Ohio Entertains Exchange champion. How about that?
Oh, that sounds great.
Isn't that a good idea?
I wonder if Arnold would call.
Let's see if we can get Arnold. We should call Arnold up and see. I'm sure we'll have some Douse dancers involved in that program.
You sure will. They're called Dowsketeers.
I can't wait to have him here, Martha. Kate, do you have a talent in that regard?
Not really.
No, neither do I. You're with us on this one. Mary Ann can sing. I've heard Mary Ann sing before.
I used to sing, yes.
No, Mary Ann, here we are. No, I'm not going to ask you to sing. But
No way.
No. But we did this on the radio show. We've never done it on the TV show. You were a cheerleader. This is one of the things I got more calls about than anything. Since we're having fun today, you were a cheerleader in college?
Well, in junior high.
Junior
yeah,
high.
and college, and yes, I was.
And what was your cheer? You still remember it?
Yeah, but you have to remember, this is years and years
Years
ago.
ago,
And this
okay.
cheer everybody will laugh to high heaven when they hear it.
This was your junior high cheer.
Right.
Mary Ann Michaels.
Akalaka-chee, akalaka-chow, akalaka-chee-chee, chow-chow. Boomerang, boomerang, sis boom ba, Triadelphia, Triadelphia, rah, rah, rah.
Well, that's good, Mary Ann.
It's horrible.
No, it isn't.
You would
That's
never
nice.
see that in a cheer.
Akalaka-cho, akalaka-cho.
I could never be a cheerleader in this day and age. I mean, all of those acrobatics that they do. I mean, all we did was, jump, put our hands behind our
She could
back.
have been a Dalsketeer.
She could have been a Dalsketeer, absolutely right. Now, we're coming to you again, Mary Ann, because we do this on Tuesday. It is Off the Rack with Mary Ann Michaels. Going to discuss some fashion this week. Mary Ann, tell us all about it.
Well, I don't know how I can segue from donkeys that are buried in the backyard to fashion, but I will try. I don't know why Scott wants me to do fashion. I am not a fashion guru, as I said the very first time I did this. But since I was the only woman on the original panel, I got stuck with it. So bear with me. Today I'm going to talk a little about hairstyles. For some reason, the layered look is supposed to really be good. And there's the medium layered haircut, there's the bold haircut, layered haircut, that's usually the real short, or the layered shoulder length, whichever suits you. Now, most women like a new style cut or a new color to change their image. They like different images. So the style should suit you in some various ways. It should have something to do with the shape of your face, whether you have an oval face or maybe a chubby face, or it has something to do with your hair, whether it is frizzy or whether it's thin or thick, and it should have to do also with your personality and your lifestyle. So you have to choose what you think would be best for you. Some women who have real curly hair just long for straight hair. And there is a way you can straighten your hair. You can either go to a salon to have it straightened, or I think there are certain preparations at the stores, where they sell cosmetics that will probably do the same thing. And then there are people who have straight hair, who want curly hair. It seems we're never satisfied. That, of course, is easy because you can get a permanent, or you can use, the brush, curling brush or the curling iron for that. Then, inside every woman, there's a little girl who wants to play dress up. So women's clothing styles are probably more diverse and more accepting of individual preferences than they ever have been. And, we have to look at the models, who model all of these beautiful clothes, and we can't get discouraged because, let's face it, no one has a shape like a model. They're very lithe and they're very suave and they're very svelte. But, you can find something that fits you. A lot of times it takes a little bit of shopping. I have a couple suggestions for every wardrobe. First of all, you should have a white blouse. Actually, you should have several white blouses. You could have a very dressy white blouse, like in satin or silk or roughly. And then you could have a sporty blouse. You could have a blouse that you would wear on the, a short-sleeved blouse you'd wear on the golf course. Or you could have a sweatshirt that's white, for fun things. And then a jacket is another wardrobe workhorse. And jackets, you should have several jackets. A lot of dresses come with jackets. But you could have a sporty jacket that you'd wear out to lunch, or that you would wear, to work. Or you could have a very elegant jacket that you would wear maybe to a wedding or to a special affair. Then also there's one-of-a-kind shawl jackets that are very, very popular. But anyway, I don't know if that helps you out or not, but you can always get on Google, and Google tells you a lot of things about fashion.
Absolutely. Good fashion report this week, Mary Ann.
Nothing about men
Very
this
good,
week.
Mary Ann.
It's very nice. Now, we'll have to get into sometime what is age appropriate. I think that would be interesting.
Yes,
We'll have to
yes.
talk about that. Want to go into the current event this week because, boy, it's a big one. A bill approved by the Ohio House which would allow certain gun owners to take concealed firearms into bars, restaurants, and other places where alcohol is served is sparking some controversy. The House voted 56-39 to approve the bill that would allow people to carry concealed guns into restaurants or bars as long as the license holder does not drink any alcohol. The measure also would let some gun owners carry or transport a loaded handgun in a vehicle, regardless of whether it is in a secured holster or case. And that's passed. Now, here's the thing. Who's going to be on the honor system when they go to those bars and say, oh, I have a gun, I'm not going to drink today? Charlie, what do you think?
Why would you go in a bar anyhow if you weren't going to drink?
Why do you need to carry a gun into a bar anyways?
I don't know, maybe to trade guns. Maybe you had
Trade guns
some
and-
people that had some guns they wanted to sell.
I know we're going to catch flack for talking about this because we're going to catch Second Amendment flack.
They did this in the old movies.
They did, but now here's the thing. You're allowed to take them into restaurants that do not serve alcoholic beverages right now. You're allowed to take them into department stores. I saw somebody in a department store here in Marion the other day with a holster on their side. What do you think, Marianne?
Oh, I think it's absolutely atrocious. I'm sorry. I realize that the NRA is one of the most potent lobby group in the country. And I think that, I think for hunting, I think it's fine. Why would you be able to, I mean, there are so many kooks out there that, somebody might upset them and they have a gun, and all these places where they go in and they use these guns and kill multiple people. I think it's terrible. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's frightening. I'm sorry.
I was a little leery when they passed the first gun legislation, but now you're taking them into bars. People are not tip-top when they've had a few to drink. And who's to say you did honor the honor system and you didn't drink because you had a gun. What if somebody knocks the gun off of you who has had something to
Well,
drink?
and now they're saying that you could take them in colleges. I think there's someplace out west, I think I heard something where they're allowed to carry a gun. And I don't understand it.
People are nervous. Kate, what do you think?
I'm not entirely sure where I stand on the gun issue, but I think that it's important to look at the side that, with the Second Amendment, what you said is the right to bear arms. So we have that ingrained in our foundation of our country. But I think it's very different context today than what it was before. And so, I guess the regulations with who can have a gun, if this bill just passed, are going to be the most important thing, because repealing the bill might be more difficult. But I don't ever see the need for me to carry a gun, nor do I want people around me having a weapon with them. I think that you can be safe in situations in other ways than having a concealed arm with you.
I think, I agree with most of what you said there, but I think the NRA people, I think the people who will throw the Second Amendment at you will say, the right to bear arms, they'll say, it's okay for you to make a personal decision that you don't want to carry a gun. Mm-hmm. But when you say people around you, that's their decision.
Right. Yeah, it is their decision, but we, as the governing body, has the right to decide if that's okay or not too. So you have to look at it that way.
To have a gun at your home for protection, there's nothing wrong with that. Because if somebody comes into your house, and then you have the right to have the gun. But to carry it into a bar or into a public building or something like that, I don't understand that.
Well, now see, Marianne, I would argue with you on this point. I think it would be all or nothing because, not hunting, but in a house, because the statistic, and they can look it up, I'm not going to give you the exacts, I don't know, but it's over 90% of the guns in homes are used on people in those homes. They're not used on intruders.
Yeah,
They're used.
you do run the risk of somebody turning the gun on you. There's no doubt about that. But and another thing I can't understand is how now people are trying to get assault weapons. They're able to carry assault weapons. Now, what do you need an assault weapon for? I mean, because that's what you use to kill multiple people.
Well, what are the laws? I don't know them, and maybe I should. What are the laws concerning if I would go on the street in a restaurant and somebody attacked me physically, if I shot them, what?
Well, it'd be
am I-
self-defense probably.
Really?
Yes, probably
What
would
if I
be.
Is
kill them?
there, I don't know if there's a catch too about if do they have to have a weapon for it to be
Self-defense.
self-defense?
See, that's what I
as
think.
If you use a weapon?
I think
Yeah.
that
Like,
might,
you can't use any force that they don't,
Oh, okay,
For
so there would,
self-defense.
yeah.
yeah.
so if somebody fires a gun at you, you start firing back at them?
That's
and
right.
What if you hit a pedestrian?
Well, then you're subject to prosecution.
See, that's where we're gonna get in trouble.
I think guns are scary, I'm sorry, and to be able to carry, just like Charlie said, you go into a bar to drink, and
I agree
That
with
seems
it.
like not a very safe place to be allowed to carry a gun in with
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 all the
everybody that could
arguments.
be in a bar. Like, then what type of bar do you do? If you have a bar that's extremely crowded, then people might be like like up against you and not on purpose, but and something could,
I
like, it
think
could
it's
come,
a terrible
like,
law.
you could lose possession of it on accident, somebody could find it.
Well, see, I've always been of the thought, though, kind of what you just said, is that if somebody breaks into your house, they're probably not gonna do it in broad daylight. If they do it at night, they're waking, you hear a crash, you wake up. Do you think you're the most steady-handed? You're scared, it's the middle of the night, you're shaky-handed. I don't know if that's the best idea either. Martha, what do you think on gun control? Do you think people should be allowed to take guns into restaurants?
Oh, no. That's terrible. I can't think of anything worse. That's awful.
But you don't,
Anybody could be shot.
that's,
Especially if you didn't like the french fries.
now is that considered assault if the cook comes at you? We're running out of time again, but we do have another great performance by Brian Copper on this Tuesday. He's going to serenade us with another great number. Brian, stage is all yours.
Thank you for having me back, and I appreciate it.
No problem.
On yesterday's show, I performed a song that I had written myself. Today I'm going to do a song. I've traveled recently to Nashville to do some recording, and I met other songwriters. And this is a song that a gentleman named Mark Selby wrote. This is called Back Door to My Heart. There's a back door to my heart. Oh, but don't you tell a soul that I've given you the keys. These rooms inside of me, let nobody know. It's a color
website and the email again.
That's briancopper.com. I'm also on MySpace at myspace.com, Brian Copper, that's COPPER.
And the CD's name?
Destination Open Road.
It's a great CD. I have a copy of it. You'll want to pick it up. It's a wonderful CD. Brian, thank you for being with us these 2 days. If you have a question or comment for us, you can do that by getting on Facebook under The Exchange Marion, or email those questions to us at irmcommunication@gmail.com. You can also watch live episodes on The Exchange Marion. So you'll want to go there, all kinds of information, insider stuff. Be back with you on Wednesday. Take care.
Can you speak